Daddy Mac. Dan's 30 years got our way, trading life and markets every day. Rusty's chained to the mines, digging deep day by day. But when Option Omega releases new features, he's free to come out and play. Option Omega, you're trading home, where every move makes you feel less alone.
Snow day. Everybody in America snowed in. How the heck are you guys?
Even in California,
Los Angeles, New Mexico, snowed in.
I got one that can defy it. Every time I think of like Fort Lauderdale, Miami, why need a weatherman? 77, 70. What is Miami today, Matt? Or it's got to be. I don't think they don't.
I bet you're right. I bet it's 77. Let's look. Because Florida's, Dan, 76 degrees.
Is it really?
Look at you. Look at you. Poly market on Dan guessing the weather in Miami.
Only in Miami. But you say, yeah. And so we got Troy in his, this is the early development of the man cave.
It's a usable man cave at this point. Very much the cave part of it. So I was telling the boys before, listen, it's 15, 16 degrees here in Knoxville right now. We've got 2 heat sources. We got the wood stove.
Yeah.
We got the double whammy of the propane heater.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, this is how insulated this cabin is. We go from a cold 16 to a balmy like 38, 39 degrees.
Oh, it's a heat wave.
Well, it's a heat wave.
Troy, can you show the ceiling? That really goes up.
Sure thing, yeah. Yeah, it's a vaulted ceiling. We put the insulation in. Now, how fancy do you make a cheap cabin? This is something Matt and I have talked a lot about. I don't know. We'll probably do some fancy decorations, some Option Omega darkened wood in the background.
Yeah.
So eventually, but
the pink on brown is kind of an iconic look, though. I think.
Pink on brown.
Many people have said this.
Yeah, when people are like, "Oh, so that's just the insulation?" No, that's the finish.
What's the problem? Yeah, what's the problem?
So, Dan, I know you traveled this weekend. I mean, chat. This is going to be a chat show. Just going to be honest with you. I don't think America struck Iran. Was my prediction this weekend.
I mean, we did have 100-point move in futures.
You did it, yeah.
Have a 100-point move in futures.
That's canceled now, I guess.
I do think that they will strike Iran. And I had a dream last night, and I'll give you one of the craziest predictions of all time based on a dream I had at 4:00 this morning. But I'll tell you about that later. So anyway,
what was the storm for you guys this weekend? What was Saturday, Sunday? First of all, do you have a storm where you are?
It just rained.
Oh my gosh.
It just rained. Now there was snow on the ground this morning a little bit. It snowed like a 2 millimeters. Yeah. You guys, I saw in the chat in the Discord that, those people were flying high this weekend.
Well, Nashville
look at it right now.
Troy in Tennessee, Nashville, Knoxville was fine relatively, but Nashville seemed to get beat up more. Am I right? And if you look at the Nashville stuff, it was like state of the emergency. I don't know.
Yeah, power outage. I have a friend in Franklin, and he couldn't get home last night, and trees falling down, power lines down, just rough. There's a snow day from Calgary.
Shout out Steven V. Snow day, farming it out on the golf course. I love that. 6 inches at the Jersey Shore is what they're telling me. I saw some. Jack Oswald's just trolling everybody.
Oh my gosh!
I think I saw some last night here. Just this OTH. That's a lot of snow. OTH.
Wow.
Let's see here real quick. We're gonna scroll. David trolling OTH. I think OTH so far might have won. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's
does OTH? Where is that picture? What city or
if
state?
he's listening. Tom, shout out to Tom.
Wow.
Tom is in Scotland. I don't think it was that.
Yeah,
week.
that's just like any January in the islands, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I think so. But
Wow.
anyway, I
I
mean,
should have taken one for this competition. Who's in charge of this Discord anyway?
great question. I think that so people got a lot of snow in the South. Yeah. I mean, I was telling people yesterday. Our news channels like Tuesday, Wednesday were basically like, you guys are all going to die this weekend.
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah.
It's going to be like, there's nothing you can do. You're going to,
there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Like get as much food as you can, but you will starve to death because of the blizzard. And I mean, Friday night, Saturday night, like Saturday night, especially, I drove around Knoxville for like 2 hours just to weather check. And like, it was just raining. And what's funny is people would call me and be like, you need to get family, stuff like that. But like, you need to get home. And I'd be like, it's just raining. They're like, yeah, but it's going to get bad. I know. And this is the thing. This actually has a really good, a really good trading analogy built into it.
Yeah.
So what happened? People got stuck on their model, and they could not admit that a model had changed.
Ooh, I like it.
Right? I mean, that's what happened. And people are like, well, yeah, it's going to get worse tonight. I'm like, it's literally, you could look at any data source right now. It's literally going to get warmer over the next 12 hours. And it's raining right now. So you do the math, you know?
And it's like they wouldn't want to admit that, you know, all the energy that went into predicting the end of the world didn't look it.
They're still looking at Wednesday's model. And I think there's a learning lesson in there, fellas traders. Matt's muted, but I think he's given the lesson.
I just was going to say I think the risk reward, I don't think they would be great options traders. And I will have to say my neck of the woods, they nailed the model.
The meteorologist you talk about?
Yep.
Yeah.
One day, highest snowfall ever. I'm in Indianapolis. This is not a top secret. Yeah. And it's the most we've ever had. I think somewhere between 12 and 15 inches on the ground right now. And the Siberian Husky dogs in the neighborhood absolutely loved it.
Oh,
I have never seen these dogs so activated as I saw this weekend. And it was quite amazing. And the problem is it's 0 degrees. And by the way, can we just take a quick diversion into a discussion about Celsius versus Fahrenheit? Because again, Indianapolis, not a secret. Don't mean to offend our European friends, but I saw kind of a joking post that explained Fahrenheit Celsius better than anything I've ever seen. Are you guys ready for this? Just think about Fahrenheit as percent hot. Think about it as hot. How hot is 0 degrees Fahrenheit? It's not hot at all. How hot is 50 degrees? It's a little hot. How hot is 75? It's pretty hot. How hot is 100? Too hot. Over 100, you don't want to be out. Below 0, 0% hot. You don't want to be out. And as soon as I started thinking about percent hot, I was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. What does water freeze at? 32 degrees. Not very hot. Very cold. Water freezes. And that percent for Fahrenheit, I've always been a fan of understanding like Fahrenheit because it's a little bit more, it's got higher data. The data resolution's good. It's enough, but not too much. And when they said the percent hot, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. What do you guys think about that? Fahrenheit is just percent hot.
I'm always looking for reasons to love America more, and you just gave me another one.
Coming up with percent hot. Fahrenheit's just percent hot. Like, and here's the thing: the more extreme it gets, the better it gets. Like, you might say, "Well, it's 120 degrees."
No, I like that.
That's so hot. You don't even want to talk about it. You
I
know,
like that.
It's negative 20 degrees.
I like that. I do like that. And I do think it's balls in our court of our European listeners now, because I mean, that's a great point. I will say the point up until recently that I've always thought it's balls in America's court is, when does it freeze? I think I could be wrong. Celsius is like below zero,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's below zero, which makes sense to me. That actually makes sense.
Yeah, but think about this. If something is only 32% hot, how hot is it? That's not very hot. That's not very hot.
Right.
And at 0, it's not hot at all.
We just lost 3 people listening.
That's okay. Listen, they know they know we're not family, but we still love them.
Yeah. I think Steven
you just made my point. That's hot. Cows are hot. That's why this steak is so delicious.
2 bangers of Steven. 100 foot is the body temperature of a cow. Do you have sandbags for your shed? Now, I'm an idiot, and many people know that. But you'll have to answer, like, what is sandbags for the shed? I don't get that.
I need help understanding that one.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, that might be a smarter person than dumber person thing. So
help us out with that.
You fill it in.
Guys, can we talk about futures for a minute, though?
Yeah, futures has had a crazy run. So let me talk about just real quick the thing. You know, the vol was juiced. I'm just going to say it Sunday night. Now, I know we gapped, but like vol was actually weirdly juiced. And I can't explain that. And that,
overnight, you mean?
Yeah, it took like 10 seconds for me to realize that on open, and I had other things to do. Oh, it's on stilts. So, and I'm on top of a hill. So flooding's not my flood for this shed. There's a lot of this shed will freeze long before it floods. So, anywho, but like I think they actually did price in some weird Voodoo Sunday IV.
Agreed.
A little bit. And I mean, again, I'll get to my crazy prediction here in a second, but I actually think that's probably going to continue until the Middle East thing's solved.
You might be right. Well,
you say puts got a little elevated last night for a little bit.
It got up to 17.4.
Yeah, I had some ES put spreads like 150 points down, even on that gap, and they were way overpriced for what the move. Even the 50-point gap, like I've seen like crazy gaps overnight, and they don't do anything. The spreads. These spreads were juiced, and I just thought to myself Sunday night, I was like, I think they might be pricing in some weekend vol on these things that didn't go down the first hour, even as we were rallying. Eventually, the price dictated the deltas to change.
What time did it kind of get hammered?
We basically closed. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but we opened down 50, I think.
Yeah, it was like 100-point swing at one point,
and then we rose 50. I think.
Okay,
so.
Man. No, I think it was.
I could be wrong.
I think it was more extreme. I mean, we're at 69.52, and let's see. At Sunday night, we got down to. Wait, whoa! I got to zoom out. We opened at. No, you're right. You're right. We got down to 68.80, and we're at 69.52. So that was 70 points, not 100. I exaggerated. I try to not look at futures on Sunday night because I'm trying to milk the last drops out of the weekend. And I will say this, Dan and I did a show. Did we do that show on Friday? I've slept since then.
Yeah.
We did an options for beginner show on Friday, which Troy does with Dan every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have this show called Options for Beginners, if you didn't know. And one of the things Dan talked about was different, like cheap shots with SPX. And I got off that show and I was like, I used to do these all the time. I love these. So I put a couple broken wing butterflies onto SPX to the downside, really far out of the money. They were cheap. One loss just for fun. And I didn't look at futures, but I did see somebody post on Twitter and I was like, oh man, I'm going to start thinking about it. And so I held back on looking at futures, but I was like, oh man, we go down 60 points. These butterflies are going to be in print city. And I wake up this morning and I'm like, futures down 5. I'm like, my butterflies, they're going to get frozen out here.
Yeah.
But listen, Dan, to the whole point, That's why I did them, because they cost me next to nothing, because they're barely broken wing butterflies, and they were so cheap.
Yeah,
It was so cheap.
right. But I do think it's a good point when, when you think about the overnight stuff. I've seen this with Troy and other people, that to have an E-mini or E-mini futures, right? I mean, Troy, otherwise you're kind of stranded. I mean, even if it's not like you have to watch it at night, you can have an order in, right? You can have an order in, and what if this spread goes to this or that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do futures for weekend plays just because actually, this is exactly why, because it's, unless there's a sustained geopolitical event, you just don't see a continued gap down.
No,
as a general rule. So
Troy, let's hear that.
At least not yet.
Let's hear your Iran prediction.
Well,
Yeah.
so let me just say this. I do think America is going to attack Iran. I have no internal knowledge of that other than pizza sources, publicly traded knowledge. Now, I had a dream last night, and hear me out. Listen, it's Monday. I'm cold, but like, hear me out.
Yeah.
I had a dream last night that I became a whale.
A whale.
Yeah.
A whale, like
Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out.
We immediately have to clarify that.
I dreamed that I become a whale and that there was an ocean under America. And I had to get really fast from Tennessee to California, because in California, there were 8-foot humans that had just revealed to be aliens. Wow. And so we knew that President Trump was going to make an announcement disclosing aliens. Now, here's where it gets interesting.
I thought it was interesting already.
I read somewhere right before bed that President Trump's going to make an announcement tonight. And he said, I'm going to tell it the way it is. Now, crypto people are saying it's something about crypto. But I'm predicting, just because predictions cost me nothing, I'm predicting that this is the big one tonight.
Uh-oh.
This is the big one.
Wait, is this part of the dream?
On a Monday night? On a Monday night. Are they, Troy? They're not called UFOs anymore. What are they called?
UAPs? Is that right?
Geez.
Yeah.
Troy, this is he is speaking tonight, or is this part of the dream? He is.
No. I can't. If any researchers can find this, I can't. I don't have Truth Social. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have Truth Social. But if he announced that, let me know that he has something big happening. But listen, a couple things. I don't need to pitch the validity of my prediction, but I will say this: I don't take drugs. Now, I did take some Tums last night before bed. So I don't know.
Matt, would you say this is as significant as The Big Short with, what's that guy's name? That this Iran, is it similar to the?
No, I would not say it's as significant as that. But listen, we're living history. History is being made, so I don't know. Right. I always say those things, like, haven't lived through a ton of options market things of events that make the history books. So it does. It actually, I'm not trying to transition this, but it actually does make me think of those ricks with the uncovered long puts on them. It does make me think about those and trying to find more of those. Week,
I mean, other than, I still think, to me, this is kind of a fun week in terms of you have it once a month. You have the FOMC sprinkled in, well, every 3 months with the that is a great picture Tam put. Yeah. Tomorrow night will be big.
Oh no, this is about I think it's going to be about domestic struggles.
That's what I would. Maybe, yeah, because that seems to be the big.
Guys, can I just say something?
What's more domestic than alien disclosure?
As it gets closer.
All right, listen, we've hit a lot of content. We might look at a back test. We've got one queued up, but I have one more question. This is for the chat, and this is for you guys. Did you see a human climb a skyscraper on live TV?
Alex Hinold.
What on God's green earth, Troy, did you watch this? Chat.
Yes.
We have, listen, I say this all the time. I'm dead serious. There are multiple serious rock climbers in OO. I'm just going to say first initials J. There's a couple M's who climb rocks. There's an A. There's multiple people that climb, like serious rock climbers in OO. And my rock climbing experience is that I've seen free solo 8 times, because when I'm cleaning the house, my rotation is like Gettysburg. It depends if the kids are around. If the kids are around, it's Gettysburg, The Martian, free solo. I add a couple things in there if the kids aren't around, but free solo's in the rotation.
Yeah.
And I've watched it, and I still get stressed out. The crazy thing about free solo, it's only the last couple minutes when he's actually climbing it. But Netflix, shout out, yep, chat, you watched it, I guess. Netflix streamed Alex climbing Taipei 101 in Taiwan, and it was crazy, and I kept having to turn it off because it has a lot of all I kept thinking about was Taleb in the back of my head. And again, I've seen free solo like a lot of times, and it still stresses me out. Because if you don't know free solo, this guy climbs without ropes. Free solo is nobody's ever, I don't think it's been done since then. He was certainly the first person to do it. And the tail risk on that, it's like most of what we talk about Taleb and like options and extreme events are things that have a low % chance of happening. Falling off while climbing rocks has a high % chance of happening. And I just kept thinking of Taleb when I was watching him climb the building. Because I had read about it, and all the rock climbers were like, guys, you don't understand. This is cake compared to what he does every day. And I believe them because I'm not a rock climber. But what I was thinking about is he's grabbing onto these structures. He's grabbing onto the parts of the building. And I thought, there are so many points of failure here. People were taking pictures of him. What if they flash him at the right moment, blind him just temporarily? He loses his concentration. The wind was crazy. Again, I get it. This is cake compared to what he does, but it just made me realize how many little things could happen during a very dangerous activity that would be like something I didn't want to watch. So we kept flipping back and forth and then watched the top of the spire ascent.
Yeah.
I don't like it for this reason. Kudos to him. Guy can climb skyscrapers, a skill that pays one of one. Because here's the problem. Like now you'll get a bunch of 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds. They're like, well, hell, I can do it. And
I can do it.
Yeah. No, you can't. That's the reality. Like, no, you can't. And it's the same thing. Again, I like to tie everything back to options trading as I do with my wife, and she loves it. It's the type of like the person that's like, I sell naked premium. Like, cool. Like, the problem is when you get someone with like just enough margin to sell naked premium, span margin, say on ES or something, and they're like, I can do it too. And you're like, that it's not the person I'm worried about. It's like the people that watch the person that I'm worried,
Yeah. He's one of one. He's one of one.
Dan, I mean, have you ever climbed something?
I remember, being at like, a YMCA type facility or health club with some of the kids when they were smaller, and they had a rock climbing thing. And that stressed me that stressed me as a parent to watch them go up wasn't that high. And they even had ropes on them. They had ropes and the guy below is kind of navigating. But I'm like, I can't watch it. I think you both hit a good point. It's hard to watch it. I just can't. I watched it delayed. No. I watched it the next day on YouTube because I don't get Netflix. I watched it free, but after I already knew that he made it, right?
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You've climbed over people in the pits, as Tom says.
I climbed over. Well, thinking of the pitch real quick, but you think about the tails of the curve thing. I remember, in the 1987 market crash, I told you, there were people I knew. There weren't many, but there were 4 or 5 people that almost took, first options of Chicago was like your think or swim. They were a brokerage firm for market makers. And there were just 4 guys, 4 or 5 guys almost took them under because they were short puts, right? And leading up to 1987, from 80 to 87, the market went up. So selling puts was like, and the brokerage for in this, the risk management departments that, they weren't used to all that stuff. So it's like, they're selling puts, they're making money. What's wrong with that? It wasn't like you got to put up million. So they would just sell the, thousands of these things. And then in September, a month before October crash, market started going up. And then when it hit, these little, eighth of a dollar puts went to, thousands of dollars. And it was just, the brokerage firm was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like these guys lost, gobbles of money. But I felt, you felt for the people on one hand that, as I said, there was one gentleman, I won't mention it. I mean, high character guy who did really well up into the, did up and well. I think he dropped 25. And then this is 1987.
Yeah.
He dropped $26 million, I think, on short puts. I'm talking thousands every month. So he was killing it. Now, this guy, though, I mean, I think he was just incredible character. He ended up, he could have walked away from that, right? Because basically he didn't have that amount of money in his account.
Sure.
And so who eats it? The clearing firm. But he came back and he paid for every penny.
That's wow.
In what he made on trade. I mean, it was an incredible story. I think he's an incredible person, but it just shows when, and here's the thing. I remember, I think he was telling the brokerage firm the next day, just hold on here for yourselves because you're out all this money. Don't go. I think the OEX, which was the precursor to SPX, the implied volatility was, I don't know, 250 or something. And he's like, please don't go in and buy them back at 250, right? We'll have, but you lose leverage, right? When you don't have any more money in the account. And so the brokerage firm went in and bought straddles and everything back at 250 volatility. And they almost got attacked, right? Because it was like, people are like, I'll sell some, 250, 300 volatility, but it's so they've, whereas before it was easy to sell puts, nowadays it's a different, I mean, you still can do it, right? And portfolio margin account, you can sell naked puts and I think it's fine, but they've definitely, the risk management departments were like Barney Fife before. Now they're, it's like, hey, this stuff can happen. Right.
Yes. Yeah. Again, we're living history. We're living history.
So what do you think this week? You got I love this week comes 4 times a year, right? Where you got the big tech stuff and the FOMC on the same week. Now it's mainly, what is it? Thursday and Friday. Just a quick, you've got, it's really, I look at potentially quiet Monday and Tuesday could be great for 0-day, even Wednesday. But then, you have Wednesday night, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, IBM, NOW, and the FOMC. But I still think, wouldn't you say, the latter end of the week, Thursday and Friday, could be busier because all those earnings are after the close. Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, IBM. And then Thursday after the close, the big one obviously is Apple. You got PPI on Friday. So I think Thursday and Friday would be the, your Rick type days. What I mean, just from a potential that catalyst, maybe a little bit after the end of. Speaking of Rick, what do we got here? We have a. I thought I saw.
Sorry, I was bringing up the schedule. We'll show the Rick here in a second. Here's the schedule though that you're talking about.
Yeah,
this is the week we got FOMC, a big FOMC day Wednesday. PPI on PPI. Yeah, it could be. Listen, I think we're going to talk more about the week as we go through the week, but this looks like it could be. There's some potential this week for excitement, huh?
But again, don't you think it's interesting? Potential for excitement, but from, usually on these type days, from Monday morning to Wednesday after lunch.
Technical difficulties.
Matt,
I was trying to clean that off the screen.
Matt's going nuts over there.
Yeah. That was great.
Man, you were saying
I don't know. I thought they were just getting rid of me. But
no,
maybe people in the chat for like 0 day, these type of weeks from Monday morning till Wednesday at lunch, a lot of times it's pretty quiet. It's like that lead up into a storm, right? It's like, the storm, like for us in Tennessee, it was Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. Now it's Saturday, Sunday, a little bit Monday. But so Wednesday, Thursday, people are preparing and doing whatever. And I think, it's like, you have like 2 parts of this week, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, much quieter potentially, and usually good. I don't remember a bad 0 day Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on this day, right? I mean, they're usually pretty darn good. But anyways, I mean,
well, if you think alien disclosure is going to be a normal week, you got another thing coming. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be, I think the market's aiming for, like, we've got enough like macro stuff that has to be resolved now. So that's interesting to me. I think that's always fun. And that's the joy of trading. There's always a narrative. There's always something. And if you're a vol trader, it gets really boring when there's no narrative. And
Troy, what's interesting to me, could it be that if he's going to do the speech tonight in the midst of a snowstorm, have him in his shorts in Mar-a-Lago?
That would be his style.
It's 70-degree weather in Florida, saying, you idiots who are not living in Florida, you have to deal with all this.
I mean, I think I would like to be in Palm Beach. And in fact, I think the 3 of us are going to be in Palm Beach sooner than later, but that's a separate day. We'll have a separate announcement about that. But you might see some OO shows from Palm Beach itself here in a couple months.
Oh my goodness, I want to hear about this.
I'd love to
with the Bermuda Sharks.
Right. Yeah, I'm cutting right now, as the kids say. I'm in my cutting phase, so I've just been eating basically protein every meal, and I want to look my best for Dan in Palm Beach. I'm just gonna.
When are we going to see the first, like a preview, the first muscle shirt? Like
when there's the first muscle.
when
there's a muscle to show, I'll show it.
When there's the first muscle. That's a good answer.
Shout out Robin Rio Daytona Surfing. And all right.
Oh yeah.
Listen, let's show a back test, Matt, and then let's talk about the back test more tomorrow if it's okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Matt, you got a back test.
Yeah, we're not gonna link it today. We'll come back tomorrow.
Link it today. There we go.
Here's the thing. We haven't talked about Ricks in a while. And I'll just say this. Like I've seen some messages floating around, Ricks are dead. Again, as I say all the time, there's a billion types of Ricks. This is a 0-day Rick. And what we did last year was we added some intraday VIX possibilities to the backtester and found that you could really kind of dial in this Rick with an intraday move and a VIX overnight move. And Troy, can you just do me one favor? Cool. Click new backtest, because people like, I've read that kind of Ricks are dead. Take that end date of 9/3/25 and run that as the start date from yesterday, because I'm kind of curious. Again, this is one Rick, and guys, there are better Ricks. Like, go find a Rick that you like. If you're trading this Rick, you're doing yourself a disservice, because I know there's better ones. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, I mean, not a ton of examples, but would you guys say this is a dead back test here in the last couple months? It looks pretty good to me on not a lot of examples.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is I see enough trading and enough tests every day to know that like at any time, at any given thing, everything's dead all the time.
There it is. And we'll talk about more of that tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll
on
talk
the
more.
show.
About it. So
Yeah. We'll revisit this back test and spend a little bit of time with it.
yeah, listen, Dan and I are going to be back on at 11, and going to be fun. And then my child is anxiously waiting for me to allow him to four-wheel 10 feet from me. So I've got to let
Go Nolan.
I've
Yeah,
got to
I
let
love
him
it.
do that for
I
a little
love
bit.
it.
So listen, be safe out there. If you're stuck at home, hope you get some work done. Hope you play with the kids, all that jazz, and have fun and be safe and enjoy the trading day. We will be back at 11. See you guys.